It's Tom.
Hi, Tom. This is Jerry Norton. How are you, sir? Tell me what's going on with this one.
It's in okay condition. Can definitely be upgraded here.
Okay.
Going live on Monday, though.
I mean, what do you think this thing would retail for if it was fixed up? Any idea?
No, I don't know. Sorry.
Okay. Do you get properties like this much?
Sometimes, yeah. But yeah, it would be worth quite a bit more if it was fixed. So
I'm just taking a look right now. What do you think it would need in repairs? Any idea there?
Oh, yeah, you'd probably think 30K in it. It will do pretty well and be able to get you quite a good return. But yeah, the big one is she wants to probably wait till Monday, and then if you want me to take you there, I can take you there. But she's just not kind of ready for any showings yet.
Yeah, it's vacant though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. She just wants to get some things ready there before people go in it. Is that what you're thinking?
She and I would rather prefer to just go live on Monday. So
yeah, I guess where I'm coming from is my preference would be I have my offer in and ready and try to get ahead of the competition.
I know, but yeah, we're gonna probably wait on that.
Okay, so I couldn't get in there early and then try to have a cash offer ready?
Oh, it is possible. Are you a realtor?
I have my license, but I'm an investor. I can set up a showing on my own. You don't have to meet me there.
Okay. I could probably let you in early if you want. Then you could just go show it yourself and see what you want to do. But yeah, I just rather prefer to get some people in there and then make our decision instead of just accepting the first offer.
So, yeah. How long do you think you'll wait and see what the market does?
I really don't know. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
So
like hypothetically, if I offered full price cash, would they take that?
They would probably hold off.
Yeah. Okay. So that tells me I don't need to rush out there and try to get something done right this second.
Exactly.
If there's no competitive advantage, then there's no competitive advantage. By the way, I'm unrepresented, so I'm licensed, but I would let you write the offer for me. Are you able to do that?
I could. Yeah.
Okay. You could take both sides?
I could, yeah.
Okay. That's how I prefer to work with agents, even though I have my license, because I'm after the property, not the commission. So I'd rather you get that, if that's
I hear you.
Interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just think, why don't I let you in? You go over there, and then you can throw it in, we can talk about it. I'm kind of in the middle of something right now. Whatever you come up with, I'll definitely give it over to her.
Okay. I follow a pretty simple formula. I try to be all into the property at 70% of what I can resell it for. So whatever that fixed up number would be, 70% of that, less repairs would be my buy. So I want to be all in at that. So just for example, if it'll resell for 500, if I put 50 into it, 500 times 0.7 is 350, would be all in, minus the 50 in rehab, would put me at 300 on the buy. But again, that would be at a 500 after repair value.
So why don't you go ahead and take a look at it sometime, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I was just explaining to you kind of where I come up with my numbers.
For sure. But I gotta get going here. Can we text here?
Yeah. I just wanted to say real quick, one more thing is if you ever sit down on a listing appointment with a distressed property, and that would be a great investor property, give me a call, because I could step in, give a cash offer, still pay you your commission, and you don't even need to list it.
I'm sitting on one now in Rochester Hills.
Can I have an address?
It's off market. Let me figure that out first. Can you text me your full name? It's a lifetime opportunity, right? Where there's a tenant in there now, so it's going to be really sellable to the average person.
Yeah, that's perfect. I buy stuff with non-paying tenants, ugly, tear down, everything, anything.
Yeah. And I wanted to buy this one. I'm an investor as well.
Okay.
So I've got two in this sub in Rochester Hills as well. I want to buy this one, but don't have the funds right now. So
okay. I would pay the full 6% commission. I'll build it into the deal, but I could have a buyer agreement with you. We put me in touch with the seller. If it works out and they accept my offer, then we get it done. And That's how I normally work with agents is they bring them to me off market and at least give the seller the option. Hey, do you want to list it or do you want to look at a cash offer?
No, I actually already have the listing document signed with her. So
Okay, so we'll have to do it the traditional route. But would they entertain a cash offer and not list it, I guess is the question.
Definitely. These guys would.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll text you right now if you could send me that info and we'll see if we can get that one done.
Perfect. We'll
awesome.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
No problem. All right,
bye. Boom, let's go.
That's why we do it. Yeah, and guys, notice a couple things there I did on that call. I was trying to see if that agent would give me preferential treatment, give me a competitive advantage, I call it. Meaning, yeah, let's get you in there early before we go live. Hey, let's get your offer in here. If your offer is good, I'll put it in front of the seller. Some agents are highly motivated to get your deal in and accepted because they want double commission. This guy was not. Now, maybe he is, but the seller's not. And one way to do this, I found that this question tells me everything. If I made a full price offer of $300, which is what it's listed for, would the seller take that offer right now? And he said no.
No. Yep.
Okay, so I'm not going to jump up and down and go through hoops. If a full price cash offer the seller would not take today, then I'm not rushing around and doing anything, right? Because they're just not motivated. Now, if I was an unmotivated seller with a distressed property and I listed it for sale, I would do exactly what this seller is doing. I wouldn't take the first offer. Maybe I can get 310, maybe I can get 320. Maybe someone will come in and pay way more than my list price, and I'm not in a hurry, so I'm going to wait and see what the market does. That's not the type of seller we're looking for. We're looking for the seller that is like, hey, if you come in at 250, we're listed at 300, but if you put a 250 cash offer in front of the seller, they'll probably jump on that. Okay, great. Let's get my offer in. That happens too. You just don't know until you feel it out. You got to feel it out. You got to ask questions. And the other thing too is I always ask agents, what do you think the back end is? And I always ask agents, what do you think the repair cost is? Now, I don't really care what they say. What I want to know is, do they know what they're doing? Are they experienced? Have they done their homework? Some agents are like this guy. They're like, I have no idea. And I'm like, how are you a real estate agent selling a property and you're going to get calls from investors and you're not informed? You haven't done your homework. That's a terrible agent that doesn't know. A good agent is like, oh man, you can get 500 for this. There's another property down the street that's on 3 acres that just sold, blah, blah, blah. And they sell it. They're salespeople. How are real estate agents not salespeople? It blows my mind. But this guy doesn't know. I don't know where repairs are. I think he said 30, which there's no way it's 30 because it's a big house. And so FYI, guys, I've been texting Tom, that agent who had that off-market property, and he's wants to meet at the property. So I went ahead and scheduled with my acquisition guy to meet him Monday at 3:30. And so I confirmed that. So that's set now as an appointment. And this is what I said. I texted both my acquisitions manager and Tom, the agent, in a group text. And I said, hey, confirming that Kevin is going to meet you Monday at 3:30. So now they're on a group text. I can step out now. They're going to handle it. I'm out. Right?
Yep.
And I texted in that thread, Tom and said, what is the list price going to be? What day were you going active? Because he said that he already has the listing, like he already has a listing agreement signed. Because I need to know that now, because what will happen with agents is they'll go ahead and list it while you're in the middle of doing something or negotiating or whatever. That's happened to me a lot of times. So I have to communicate with this agent and say, do not list this property.
Do not. Yeah.
So I said to him, we'd like to present a cash offer to the seller before you go live. Don't assume that they understand that. You have to explain this stuff. So he got back and he said $200K was going to be our list price, which for Rochester Hills, I already know right now that's probably a really good price. With the knowledge of knowing the property will be going over the asking price by a bit. So they're underpricing it, knowing that they're going to get interest. So this is a good one. We might get this one. He said it's got a tenant in there and stuff. So this is the gold property right here that we might get off market. This is how much I paid for that lead. Yeah.
Well, Jerry, one point.
By the way, I would pay $400 to go meet at that property that's got a tenant that's priced, you know what I mean, with a motivated seller. That's how much I'd pay off market for marketing.
Yeah, for lead.
You know what I mean? I just got that for free. Tom, it's Jerry.
Oh, hey, Jerry.
Hey, so Kevin just met with you, he said.
Yep.
Okay.
Just met him.
Great. Thanks for getting us in there.
Hey, then.
Hey, sorry I lost you. Yeah, so I just spent some time looking at comps over there. The challenge is it's got no garage or basement.
Yep.
So that's like tough.
I just bought one on Longview in December. It paid $255. No garage, no basement. It's more updated, but yeah.
Yeah, there's one that.
Over here.
Yeah,
This
there's.
is where I invest. I have 2 houses here.
Okay.
It's become my pocket for investing.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying. There's a comp for 220. That's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and you're not calling this a 3-bedroom, are you?
If I list it, I will.
Okay, because that 3rd bedroom is more like a walk-in closet. I would probably move the laundry in there.
That's exactly what most people would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd call it a 2-bedroom and move the laundry in there because that laundry in the kitchen's not ideal.
Yeah.
So then if you comp it as a 2-bedroom, like there's one over there's 2 on DeQuinder. Now that's DeQuinder. One for 220, one for 216. There's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath on Emmons, which is right in that little neighborhood.
Yeah.
But that has an attached 2-car garage, and that got 260. It's a 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's got a nice attached 2-car garage.
Yeah, no, that would help.
I'm thinking this is probably a 240 house.
Okay, fixed up.
Yeah, with some money. I mean, it doesn't need a lot. It's pretty clean. But
Yeah.
I think it's a 240 house without the garage or basement.
I hear you.
What do you think they'll do on this?
They'll hit the market if we don't get the offer that they want. So I told you earlier, I was gonna I have contract here. We're gonna list at 200 and knowing that it will go up to 210. But yeah, it would go up, especially at a 200 mark. So that's their plan. So depends on what you can do here. It's going to be a pain in the butt for them, for me to list the house with a tenant in there. And then,
I mean, we're not that far off, but I think I need to be a little bit lower. Like I would probably, max I'd probably want to pay would be like 190. Just because I got to spend some money on it, and then, I got to get in with cash. I got to get in with a little bit of equity,
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
You doing an inspection? I mean, that doesn't really matter.
No, I don't think so. We walked it. I mean, it looks solid. I don't know. I'm assuming that furnace is okay down in the crawl.
From what they said, it's a newer furnace, but yeah, feel free to go check out the crawl if you want. That's probably a good idea.
But I would probably write it with no inspection.
Okay. So 190, they're on vacation right now, so I could talk to them about 190 here and see what we can do.
Yeah, but that would be that'd be where I got to end. So if we're going to play the counter game, it would make it 180 and then we go up to 190. You know what I mean? Just tell,
I hear ya.
Maybe just tell them that's like the no mess around number, like the max, like highest and best is 190.
Okay. I do think that, because I have to treat them as a client of mine, right? Because
I get it.
Documents signed with them.
I get it.
I have to sell it at the highest amount I can here. But if they want to keep it off the market and make it easy for the tenant, that's nice. And then would you be okay with your tenant becoming a tenant, or no?
Probably not. What's he paying?
He's not paying anything. It's like a deal with the mom.
No, so that would be
a little bit of risk too.
Well, it'd be contingent on vacant at closing.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, he'd have to be out.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to try to evict him.
Oh, hell no. I don't think he has a problem with. He says he can move quick, so we'll see.
Right. Okay. Yeah. See if we could get 190 done. It sure would be easy on everybody.
Yep, I'll explain that to them. It's gonna be easier process. So
Now, hold on a second. How are we handling commissions on that?
I've got the listing document signed, so I'll get paid from the seller here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're good with that?
Yeah, because if you have to come out of pocket, it's just gonna affect the price in which you buy the house for.
Yeah, because I'm happy to do it, but if I pay 190 and then I got to pay another then I really got to pay 185.
Exactly.
So I land at 190.
No.
If that's important to you, then go in at 185. But if you're okay with what you've got, then 190 will be.
Probably just better to show them the numbers,
Yeah.
Yeah, because my document says list at 200 at the on the market, so I'll see what I can do here.
Okay, awesome.
Sweet. And I think if you do a decent job flipping it, like finishing those floors, I think you could get 260. Yeah, just from my experience in that area.
You think so? You think what would I need to do though? Because I can keep that kitchen. What about that?
It becoming a 2-bedroom? Yeah, never. Yeah.
But
maybe I shouldn't have said that. But I just have high hopes over there. It's a good area. I love.
You can't. How do you get into Rochester Hills for that cheap?
Yeah, you can't, right?
Do I really need to move that laundry out of the kitchen if I flip it?
You don't.
I just can't. Maybe a buyer doesn't care.
Yeah.
Would a buyer rather have that other little tiny bedroom or dedicated laundry?
In this house, they'd rather have the bedroom. I'd assume most people would want to have that bedroom because in Rochester Hills, you have a lot of young professionals at Stellantis who have kids and they want that nursery. So.
Or like a home office maybe or something.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'd keep the rooms and then leave it up to them if they want to move it.
Yeah, just clean it up a bit.
Yeah, maybe build something so you can't see them.
That's
a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how building code is for that, but
yeah,
I don't like that you can see it.
I know.
In the kitchen.
I did a flip. Where was that? And it had a laundry in the kitchen, and I rehabbed everything, but I left that, and it killed me because every buyer hated it.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember where that was at. I think it was Clinton Township or somewhere. But anyway, over here it might not matter.
It's not ideal.
It might not matter over here. It's just the cheap.
Beggars can't be choosers over here. Right?
You want to be in Rochester Hills for under 250? You know what I mean? Like,
it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. I got those two houses, investment properties here, and it's tough to get them. It's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, because Rochester Hills is just so desirable to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So finding something affordable is impossible.
Yeah. So I'll talk to them in the next couple of days. I'll give them a call today, but they're on vacation in Florida right now. So the seller is so.
Yes.
I can get a hold of them soon and offer 190 and.
Yeah, do a verbal at that, and then if they agree with it, we can follow up in writing.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Of course, thank
you.
It was nice to kind of move this property off market here, because.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know if anything else like this comes up.
Hey, I will do.
Okay, appreciate you. Bye.